The rituals of death, pain so searing and so common now as Haiti suffers its latest crisis. While the dead are buried, the living languish. Desperately needed aid still just barely trickling through. I'm in pain, says this man who lost 4 relatives. Only God can help me. In the capital, Port-au-Prince, signs of Haiti's other crises. Its crushing poverty and lack of infrastructure are everywhere. So, too, are billboards of the country's recently assassinated president, Jovenel Moïse. Haiti was already mired in long-standing political turmoil before his killing. Now, a debilitating power vacuum compounded by a devastating earthquake.
Haitians have used to live with the concept that there is no state, there is no government. This is a farmer's peace. This was very prestigious.
Jacques Lumarc, who once tried to run for president, is the rector of Haiti's leading private university. The school is helping to restore cultural artifacts damaged in the 2010 earthquake that killed more than 200,000 people.
How does the political instability here impact the response to this most recent disaster?
The earthquake comes as a disaster, but we were also in a national disaster. If you are in disaster yourself, you cannot help people in disaster. And the government is in a disaster stress.
Haiti has a proud past, but a difficult history. Here, enslaved people threw off their French rulers, but were then forced to compensate them for more than a century. Haiti is the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. It never really recovered from 2010. There are allegations that billions of dollars in aid has been mismanaged and lawlessness is increasingly rampant.
People are fleeing because they cannot have any job, because the state cannot provide the environment to create wealth in the country.
And then you have a 7.2 magnitude earthquake.
This is, it's just like nature is against us.
Fritz Jean once served as Haiti's interim prime minister and governor of its central bank.
Chronic capitalism, this is what we are experiencing in Haiti. Privilege granted to those people and the exclusion of the majority of the Haitian citizenship.
Before the earthquake, elections were set for November, but that plan may now prove impossible. Some want international help to stabilize the country, others fear even more outside influence. What's needed, says Lumarc, is a chance for the country to catch its breath.
Now you have to gather everybody on the table, listen to everybody, and design a strategy for, first, a new constitution, second, security, and third, elections.
Do you have hope that things are going to get better?
There are an opportunity to learn from these disasters and to become stronger.
But for now, Haiti's pain drags on.
Ellen, after a week in Haiti, you've seen this crisis firsthand, some awful scenes, as we've seen just there right now. What is sticking most for you?
Well, David, the need is so great in the hardest hit areas by this earthquake, and these are remote places that are hard to get to. So it's hard to think about some of these people just never getting the help that they need. The other hard part is thinking about all those children we saw this week with terrible injuries from this earthquake, struggling to get the care that they require in overrun, unsanitary facilities. And it really just is unclear how this immediate crisis is going to be addressed.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your reporting. That is Ellen Morrow in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, for us tonight.